Metabo HPT came out with a new 5 3/8 inch cordless metal cutting saw that is 18 volt. This comes in a kit CD1805DB. It comes with two 5 amp hour batteries. Now these are multi-volt batteries, so in 36 volts they would be 2.5 amp hour. Pretty cool little saw when you go to use it. It has a chip collection that you can empty at the back when you're actually using it. If you need to change the blade, there is a button up top you push and it will come right off. You can get at the 5 3/8 inch blade right there. Tool to take it off is on the opposite side, which is great. Lots of rubber over mold, so you can set this guy down. It's not going to scratch different things up. At the same point, it is a metal cutting saw, so I have to believe that most people who are using it are not using this in a precision or painted area. It's going to work just like a circular saw. In the back, you have your depth of cut. Pull this guy down. You always want to make sure that this lower guard is working at all periods of time. Take a look at that blade. Pretty cool. You can use this for aluminum. You can use it for wood if you want to. Again, wood's going to come up in this chip box. Everyone's going to ask, but you can, if you were in a pinch, you can use it for PVC. It's going to do good. Interestingly enough, it does have a silent mode on here. So if you just push this little speaker icon, it will go into its 2200 RPM state. Now the kicker with this is that if you get in and you push it, or it needs to ramp up more power, it will go up to its power state, which is 4200 RPM. Let me just give you a for instance and show you how it works while you're cutting. Let's try silent mode again. Kicks right up. So in all my testing, I was unable to get it to stay in the silent state with the material that I was cutting. That to me is not a big deal. I was not cutting anything that would be thin. But up in here too, you can turn on and off the LED light, and you also have a battery fuel meter, which is going to be two bars that's going to tell you the batteries on these also have fuel meters on them, and they're accessible out back. Pretty simple, nice little compact saw, and that's what I see when I look at this. Compact. It's got plenty of power. It has a max depth of cut of 2 inches. This is not going to bevel. It's going to be a 90-degree cut only. It does have a place where you could put a fence on this. So if you wanted to cut a long piece of metal, crossed, no issue. It's all sitting there inside this guard that's on the bottom. The saw weighs in at just over 5 pounds, and it is 11.5 inches front to back with the included 5 amp hour battery. This thing cut through a lot of different materials, including angle iron, which I was a little bit surprised. It just chewed through, had no problem, no bogging, and of course you're letting the blade do the cutting, so you're not pushing really hard and you're just going through the material. Did a great job at chip collection. It all was up inside this container on top, and it wasn't hitting me in the face, it wasn't hitting me in the arms. It was a great little metal cutting saw that I think has its uses in compact or smaller areas, and I think that is a huge key. There are much larger metal cutting saws out there on the market at this point in time, and most of those have a max cut of a 1/2 inch metal. This saw just doesn't tell you what its max cut is. It simply comes out and says you have a 2-inch depth of cut. I know you're not going to take this thing and roll through 2 inches of solid steel. I'm going to say that just from my use, you're going to do okay with shortcuts in 1/2 inch steel at max. But if you had a longer rip to do, you definitely wouldn't want to be going through 1/2 inch steel. Overall, I think this is a great addition to the Metabo HPT line. It's 18 volt, so it's going to take your 18 volt batteries, it's going to take the 36 volt batteries. I think that's good. I'd be looking for the 36 volt version of this in a much larger saw, something that's going to give me a large capacity and really rip through some metal. I think that would be cool. But Metabo HPT seems to be concentrating on their 18-volt tools at this point in time, so I think this fits in for most people quite well, and the size of the saw is what really stands out to me. Nice, compact, lightweight, easy to handle, something a lot of people on the job site are going to appreciate. Give me your comments below. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.